Hello everyone and welcome to the Street Talk. I'm your girl Street and I'm back with another video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be aware of when I drop more hot videos. Now the streets are on fire and it is all about Power Book 2 Ghost, baby. Now episode 7 dropped last night and fans are going crazy because they want to see action. Now to me this episode was a tad bit mediocre. There were a few highlights that I know will lead up to something great, but fans are chiming in with their theories. People are saying, I hope BRAYDEN doesn't get killed. He's literally a Tommy in progress. 2-bit release will lead up to TASHA's death. Kane probably going to kill that cop Ramirez. I feel like TASHA's going to die and maybe Sax. I'm ready for TASHA's case to be done. Kane gets shot by his mom. You heard it here first. And then someone said father versus son. Once again, it's the theme every season. Kane will take out Lorenzo. 2-bit will not last. Tariq will be the one to kill him or BRAYDEN. He knows too much. Now the episode jumps off with Kane robbing what appears to look like a pastor of a church. Now when the trailer dropped for episode 7, a lot of Power fans assumed that the guy that was with Kane was BRAYDEN, but I knew that BRAYDEN wanted no part of Kane after what happened in the door room. He is trying to stay clear of him, but this is Kane and the GTE crew, and this scene speaks volumes to me because it shows Kane's true character. But one of the guys that Kane and his crew was robbing noticed that Kane had GTE tatted on his hands, so this lets me know that Kane will eventually get caught up with this robbery. So it is sex week, baby, at Stansfield University, and those students are going crazy, okay? The supporters of it are walking around throwing out condoms to promote safe sex, but Professor Milgram and Professor Reynolds are ready to announce the finalists in regards to the fellowship program. Now, if you guys remember a few episodes back, Tariq became interested in the fellowship program because it gave him the opportunity to graduate early, but unfortunately Tariq did not make the cut and he became quite upset about it. Professor Milgram went over to console him and Professor Reynolds seen their interaction and he automatically assumed that Professor Milgram was sleeping around with Tariq. Now Professor Reynolds got a lot of nerves, child, because he has no right to accuse Professor Milgram of what he's been doing for so long. So he approached her about Tariq and she shut down all claims, and then he brought up this book that he's been trying to write, and Professor Milgram thinks that it's just a scam for him to get back in her good graces. Now I don't know about you guys, but ever since the mid-season came, I am over Professor Milgram and Professor Reynolds' relationship. They are some good-looking characters, but in my opinion their position and power holds no weight. Now Riley and BRAYDEN are getting it in during sex week, and she still tries to get BRAYDEN to tell her why he was missing, but he does not fold. Now Tariq walks in and he sees BRAYDEN and Riley in the bed and he becomes very furious because Tariq does not want Riley nosy self in him and BRAYDEN's personal business, and Tariq is willing to manipulate the situation in order to keep Riley away from BRAYDEN. Now this scene shows Diana and Drew, and they are having a conversation with Monet, and they questioned her about Kane because apparently he has not been home in 3 days, and Monet knows something is up. She just can't put her finger on it. She calls Lorenzo to question him him about it, but he does not come clean about putting hands on Kane. But Monet really needs Kane to come home because she has a drop that is coming up and she needs Kane there for security purposes. Power fans was wondering, where is Zeke, baby? Zeke is living good, okay? He is messing around with Professor Milgram. He has Tariq to do his homework. I mean, Zeke is living his best life, but Tariq is getting tired of all of this work that he is doing for Zeke. I mean, he has a lot on his plate, but I still believe that Tariq can use this as an advantage to keep Monet on his good side. Now, Stern's husband rolled up on Tariq and he is questioning him about the app that he helped create because a lot of orders are pouring in, but Tariq does not have the product. So he calls Monet to check in about it, and she basically tells him to wait. It is a waiting game. When she has it, he will have it. But Tariq needs to keep up the payments for his mom's lawyer so everything can stay copacetic. Now, Sachs and Davis are still making sure that they are on the same page in regards to their secret deal. And you guys, I'm going to say it again, this deal is going to be an epic fail because they are running out of time and they are also running out of witnesses. So they decide to subpoena Angela Valdez's sister Paz because we all know from Power Book 1, she does not like Ghost and she will do any and everything to defame his character because she believes he is the reason that her sister Angela is dead. Now, Diana scurries over to where Kane is at and she lets him know how he needs to come home because Monet has a drop coming up and he needs to be there. Now, Kane is still in his feelings because he thinks that Monet got him jumped while he went to visit Lorenzo in prison, but Diana convinces him that Monet truly and deeply depends on him and how he needs to be there for the family. Now, I don't know about you all, but I am keeping my eyes and ears on Diana because she is coming off a little bit ruthless nowadays, and we will get more into her grimy self later on. So Tasha calls Tariq and she is still telling him how he doesn't need to show up to court because Tasha cannot figure it out, but she is still contemplating why Tariq's name was brought up in her court trial. She is still trying to keep Tariq paying Davis and she wants him to focus more on his studies. Now, I have mentioned this time and time again. Tasha is more concerned with Ghost inheritance than anything else. Now, this next upcoming scene is one of the highlights of the episode for me, and it shows Tariq questioning BRAYDEN once again about his relationship with Riley because Tariq is very suspicious of Riley. He doesn't want her in between him and BRAYDEN's personal business. And this reminded me of Tommy and Ghost and how Ghost used to keep his foot on Tommy's neck about Holly. But Tommy loved very hard, and it appears as if BRAYDEN does the same. But Tariq took it a step further and told BRAYDEN how Riley tried to hit on him at his birthday party, and he got this information from BRAYDEN's brother, Trace. Now, this did not sit well with BRAYDEN. He immediately went over to Holly's place and he questioned her about it, but they broke up. Now, Riley can restore her relationship with BRAYDEN if she comes clean about Tariq. Now, this is where things get a little bit fishy because just last episode, Riley confessed to Tariq about drugging him. Now, Trace is saying how he caught both of them in the bed. I mean, Tariq is finding out more and more things, clues, and who Riley is connected with. Now, this can work in his favor if Saxe and Davis' plan goes into action. So it cuts to Monet, and she is drilling Drew about Kane and Lorenzo, but Drew really doesn't know anything. But Diana comes in and she tells Monet how she's seen Kane and that he stated he will be at the bar when the drop comes. But we get to see a softer side of Monet, in my opinion, because Kane is her oldest son. He is also her ride or die child, and she is very worried about what happened to him because Lorenzo is not coming clean about it. And she also wants him to be there for the drop because she still needs somebody to have her back. Sex Week at Stanford University is lit because now we see Zeke having a personal moment with Professor Milgram, and she must be doing something right because now Zeke wants her to meet his auntie Monet, and Professor Milgram is not going for it. She told Zeke if their relationship is made public, how explosive it could be considering that he is a student and she is a professor. But there is a knock at the door, and lo and behold, it is Professor Reynolds trying to, sway his way back in. But he notices that she has company. He becomes very angry. He goes to his car. He finds Tariq's assignment. He rips it up. He writes another statement on the card, and later on it is revealed that he tried to expose Professor Milgram. She finds out about this through Lauren, and she tells him that she will turn him in and let everyone know who he really is if he keeps up with the shenanigans. Lauren and Tariq are once again partners for another class assignment regarding the 48 laws of power. So they go over to Lauren's dorm room to discuss the assignment. They begin to horseplay and fool around. Next thing you know, Lauren's boyfriend shows up, and people refer to him as a major cop blocker, and this is definitely true because he always shows up when Tariq is there. Apparently, he does not like what he sees. Him and Lauren gets into a hot argument, and they eventually break up. Now, this is what Power fans been waiting to see. They wanted to see this big goofy get out the way so Lauren can be free to mess around with Tariq. So Tariq leaves Lauren's room, and he steps outside and he sees Riley, you guys. This is another highlight of the show for me. And so he does a true ghost tactic, and he follows Riley, and it leads him to her being in court because she is facing a marijuana charge. And Riley tells the judge how she is waiting on her uncle/lawyer to represent her. And this is when Tariq finds out that Saxe is Riley's uncle. Now Professor Reynolds is requesting to see Tariq because he is willing to give him another chance into the fellowship program because Tariq only missed it by a few points. Now Tariq does not know that Professor Reynolds is using him to write his book. So he offered Tariq a chance at the fellowship program again if he completes a relationship essay. Needless to say, Tariq is all in because he really does want to be in the program so he can finish school early. But I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I really do not want to see Professor Milgram or Professor Reynolds in the remaining episodes of Power because this right here is on a different level. So now, guys, we are back at court, and Tasha becomes nervous when she sees that Paz is one of the witnesses because she has had secret conversations and dealings with Paz, and she's asking Davis what exactly is Saxe going to ask her. Now, Saxe did a good job interrogating Paz because he was able to get Paz to admit that Tasha told her that Tommy actually killed Angela, and she even referred to Tasha as a queen pin. Now, Davis knew that this was going in the wrong direction, and he quickly intervened because he was able to get Paz to admit how she benefited from Ghost's death, from receiving inheritance money to open up businesses. She even backtracked on her statement in regards to Tasha being a queen pin. Now, this made Tasha look very good to the jurors as well as the judge. And in my opinion, Davis is a cold lawyer. He kind of reminds me of Proctor. Now, this next scene is another highlight of the episode for me because it shows Kane, who is being followed, and he is eventually picked up by the police due to the robbery. Now, when Kane arrives at the police station, he is allowed a few phone calls, but he is unable to reach anyone. So he contacts Officer Ramirez, and this is where things get very grimy and gutter because Kane tells Officer Ramirez how Monet is trying to kick both of them out of the family business. He also snitches on Tariq and tells Ramirez how he is moving weight for Monet, and this can end up very bad for Tariq because if Officer Ramirez really listens to Kane and reacts to his story, he has the power and the pull to get Tariq knocked off. So Monet and Diana finally arrives at the bar. They are waiting on the drop to arrive, but in the process, Tariq reaches out to Diana because he still needs product and he is waiting for it. So Diana tells Tariq to meet her at the bar. Now, Monet knows nothing about this. So eventually, the guy comes with the product, but Monet is demanding more than she is willing to pay. And this young man is not going for it. He wants all the money or nothing. So Monet throws around her title, and this guy is not feeling it. He is still sticking to the plan, how he wants all the money or she can't receive everything that she is trying to get. Now, Diana and Tariq are downstairs and they are having a conversation, and Tariq comes clean with Diana. He tells her that Lauren was not in the room, how Riley was in there, and how Brayden was missing, and he wasn't trying to treat her very cold. But they end up sharing a kiss, and in the middle of it, they hear a bunch of noise. They go upstairs, and this guy has literally tried to attack Monet, and she shoots and kill him. Now, this is where the plot thickens because Monet does not want Tariq to see this. So Tariq offers to hide the body, and Monet is a little leery of it, but she goes along with it because, of course, Diana takes up for Tariq, and she tells Monet how Tariq can be trusted. Now, she was just going through Tariq's book bag while he was on the phone with Professor Milgram, but that's another day for another story. But this really made me think because Monet is getting a cosign from Diana, how she can trust Tariq even more. So Drew and Tariq is ready to get rid of the body, and in the process, Drew does not want Tariq to have no parts of it because he feels as if Tariq has never ever shot a gun before, and this was a good moment in my eyes because it lets me know that they believe that Tariq is squeaky clean. They have no knowledge of him killing his father Ghost. But it also lets me know that Tariq had a flashback of what happened between him and his father, and he needs to keep his hands clean, and he also needs to keep his image away from the street life. Now we have Kane showing up at Monet's house with Officer Ramirez, and she is going off on Kane about not being at the bar when the drop came, but Officer Ramirez is taking up for Kane something awful, you guys, and Monet is not going for it at all. She is telling Officer Ramirez that Kane is grown and how he can speak for himself, but Monet told Kane what happened at the bar, and he instantly got mad and and said that he will handle it, but he felt some type of way when Monet told him that Tariq and Drew took care of the problem, which basically stamped everything that Kane was telling Officer Ramirez. So you guys, this is not going to end well. I really do feel Officer Ramirez is going to come for Tariq. Monet notices Kane's face is bruised up. She asked him, did the police do it? He said no. So this gave Monet confirmation that it was actually Lorenzo, and so she was pissed about it. She gave Lorenzo a call. She went off on him. She told Lorenzo that Kane belongs to her and that he will never ever lay hands on Kane again. So Tariq is back at his dorm room and Lauren pops up and she's in this robe and she's telling Tariq how she just broke up with her boyfriend and she feels this is the right time for her and Tariq to have a personal moment, and they share a kiss. And I'm just like, wow, Tariq is really getting in doing sex week. First he had a kiss with Diana, now Lauren, but Tariq was just involved in a murder and his shirt was still bloody and he didn't want Lauren to see that, so he kind of played her to the left, and Miss Lauren was not happy about it because she is used to getting whatever she wants. Now I am positively sure if Tariq did not have that blood on his shirt, he would have went all the way through with Lauren, but we just have to see how this is going to play out with him messing around with Diana and Lauren. So there you have it, guys. This was Power Book 2 episode 7. What did you all think about this episode, and what are your future predictions for episode 8? Will Officer Ramirez try to take out Tariq based off what Kane told him? Will Diana try to damage Tariq if their relationship does not go in her favor? Will Saxe and David's secret plan actually go through, or will it become an epic fail? And what are your thoughts about Riley? In order for her to stay with Brayden, she has to come clean. Will she confess about drugging Tariq and who her uncle really is? Let me know down below. And thank you for tuning into the Street Talk. I'm your girl Street, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.